Our article begins today by introducing a man by the name of Heston Blumenthal.
Heston Blumenthal.
Even his name sounds fancy.
I like the name. It sounds expensive.
He sounds expensive. He sounds like if he was going to make you a meal, it would cost you everything you have.
A lot.
That's what it says here. Heston Blumenthal is one of the world's most famous chefs. A chef is not just somebody who cooks food. They are the person who is in charge in the kitchen. They are the kitchen boss.
That's right. Actually, chef means boss in French.
That's right. And they are the ones, they come up with the recipes. They direct all the cooks. The cooks are the people who work under the chef.
Okay.
They listen to what the chef says. If you've ever seen, what's that show? That guy who yells at everybody. Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
He's a chef.
Yes, he is.
And a lot of kitchens are like that. The chef is yelling at everybody, telling them what to do, telling them how fast everything has to be done. That's what a chef does. That's what Heston Blumenthal does, and he's one of the world's most famous chefs.
Okay, so what you're saying is if my meal costs less than $500, it was made by a cook.
Possibly.
If it costs more than $500 and it's in a nice restaurant, it was a chef.
It was a chef.
But basically, they both make food for a living. That's their job. Let's find out about Mr. Heston Blumenthal. It says his restaurant, The Fat Duck. That's not what they serve there. That's the name of the restaurant. It's called The Fat Duck. Cool. It says it's like a stage where food magic is performed. I see. So they're sort of tying the idea of food and creating wonderful food to an art. Why do we say that? Because when you perform something, you're putting on a show. An artist, a musician, an actor, someone like that would perform. If you go to see dancers in a show, they are performing for the audience. Chefs don't usually perform unless it's that guy who chops up the chicken really fast and throws it in the air. But most chefs don't really perform. They're in the back in the kitchen. But with this type of food, it's like art. So that's why we say the chef is performing.
All right, next we have a question.
Oh,
It says, however, is it possible to move the whole restaurant and its staff from the UK to Melbourne, Australia? That is a long way.
That is a long way.
To move anything, especially a restaurant.
Yeah.
They're going to move the restaurant and the staff. The staff are the people who work for a company or for a business. Those are just the employees. So they're not just going to move all the stuff from the restaurants, all the kitchen appliances,
the spoons,
the ovens, the spoons, the knives, the forks, the tables, the chairs,
the fat ducks.
The fat duck. That's going to be heavy. They might get overcharged.
They'll need a big boat
on the airline for the fat duck. But they're going to move the staff, all the people, the workers, the kitchen staff, the cooks, and the waiters and the waitresses, the maitre d'.
Why don't they just hire people in Australia?
I guess they want to be loyal.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm glad you're not my boss.
I see.
You would just be like, hey, we're moving to Australia, so you are now free to seek other employment.
That's right. We're going to hire kangaroos.
We're going to hire kangaroos as waiters.
They work cheap.
It's going to be awesome. Nothing bad will happen.
Well, this sounds like a big challenge, a big mission, and that's exactly, it says, what the TLC show Inside Heston's World finds out. As the Fat Duck UK is being redecorated, Heston is taking everything to Melbourne for 6 months. So it's a temporary move. The Fat Duck UK is the original restaurant outside of London. It's being redecorated, so they're changing the inside, they're painting it. Basically, the restaurant has to close for a short time, for 6 months. So they've decided to go on the road, to take the restaurant around the world, or at least down to Australia. Now, this sounds fairly simple, is it?
No, it says this is no easy task.
Well then it wouldn't be simple.
That means it's not easy.
It wouldn't be easy, would it?
A task is like a job. It's something that you want to accomplish, something that you want to do. This is a common phrase, actually, no easy task. It just means this will not be easy to do. It's not a job that's going to be simple. It's probably going to be complicated. There's going to be conflict of some sort. There's going to be a lot of challenges involved in doing this. So running a restaurant is probably one of the most difficult jobs you can do.
It's a full-time job.
It's a very challenging industry. There's a lot of competition. Just think about Taipei, for example. How many restaurants there are in this city?
7,361.
Probably more.
19,000.
I think that's just my street.
I don't know.
There's a lot.
There's a lot, you're right.
You walk down any street and you'll see restaurant after restaurant after restaurant. And most major cities are like that.
And you'll notice many of them open and close in a very short time.
Yes.
It's a difficult business to survive in.
So it's no easy task to run a restaurant, and it's no easy task to relocate from the UK all the way to Australia.
That's right. Now, some of the difficulties you might expect, moving the staff, moving all the kitchen equipment down, you would say, yeah, I can guess that would be difficult, but important. But some of the other tasks are a little unusual. It says, for example, it involves shipping 126 iPods. That's right, what? iPods, the MP4 music player. It says these are needed for one unusual dish. They actually use iPods when serving the food. Now, how this happens, I don't know. You'll have to go to the Fat Duck and check it out. But it involves, when something involves, that is part of it. That is included in it. That is connected to it and in an important way. So moving everything involves many jobs. There are many smaller jobs as a part of moving the whole restaurant, and one of the strange jobs is moving all of these iPods.
I hope they're not making like deep fried iPods.
Maybe they put like the ice cream on the iPod or something.
Or your food. It plays music in your food.
You can hear the duck quacking as you eat it.
I don't know if I would enjoy that.
That would be weird.
I don't like to hear my food when I eat it. I want my food nice and dead.
I want my menu on shuffle, please.
Oh, on shuffle.
Yes.
Okay, so they have to ship a bunch of iPods. In addition, so on top of that, 64,000 special snails have to be transported to Australia.
Of course.
In addition just means we are adding something to something else. So they have to ship all these iPods plus 64,000 snails.
Special snails.
Special snails.
Delicious snails.
I guess special in this case means expensive and delicious.
Mm-hmm.
They have to transport them. Transport means to move something from somewhere to somewhere else. Things get transported all around the world on airplanes, on ships, in trucks, and by trains. They are transported. They are moved. So they're transporting iPods and 64,000 snails. So I guess these snails... They can't get them in Australia.
I imagine they're specially grown. Many restaurants do actually grow their own snails or sort of raise their own snails. So yeah, they're bringing them, and you know those Australian snails.
Terrible.
They're just not that good.
No.
That's right. So a lot of things to bring. However, it says one of his chefs, he won't make the trip as he failed an English test and isn't allowed to travel.
So he's a foreigner.
Very unusual. Yeah, maybe he's from France or Poland or Germany or somewhere like that, somewhere where English isn't his first language. He failed a test. Perhaps he needed to pass an English test to make his mom happy or to work in Australia. But that's not important. The point is he's not allowed to travel. He isn't allowed to go. So just one more thing that Heston Blumenthal has to worry about.
These are just a few of the problems that make Heston's stress levels go through the roof.
Wow,
yes.
Now he has to fix the roof, too.
No. This is just an expression. It doesn't mean like there's a hole in the roof. Stress is when you're feeling uneasy, you're on edge, you're just...
Why isn't it working?
You're worried, you're angry.
Why did he fail his test?
You're frustrated.
Where are the iPods?
This is what stress looks like.
63,000 snails, there's supposed to be 64,000 snails. What's going on here?
This is a perfect demonstration of stress going through the roof. It just means the level of something is going really high, very extremely high.
That's right.
And going through the roof is our shortcut for you for today. So let's take a closer look at this phrase.